Okay, so we're asked to expand this here. Okay, so we take from the formula booklet again. Okay, the binomial expansion. So we'll substitute in then. So we have 1 plus. So the power then is a half. Okay, x then is the term here. Okay, which is 4x. And then we've got this then. So n reduced by 1. So take away 1 from there, you get minus a half. Over then 2 factorial, which is 1 times 2. Okay, and then we've got to square the x. So remember now, put it in a bracket because it's 4x here. So you want to make sure we square the whole thing. So this then will become 1 plus then, well, half times 4 is 2, so 2x. Here then, well, a half times negative half is negative quarter. Divided by 2 is negative 8. And then we'll square in here. So it's 4 squared is 16. So it'll be 16x squared. Okay, that's dot dot dot. So we then get 1 plus 2x. 1/8 times 16 is 2. Okay, so 2x squared plus dot dot dot. So we've gone up to x squared, which is what they want, and this says state what it's valid for. So remember, we use this here, but we've got to put 4x in place of it, right? And because the 4 is positive, well, then the size of it is just 4. That's looking at the size of it, so we can take that outside. And then appreciate we are timesing this here, so you just take the 4 over and divide. So that means the size of x has got to be less than a quarter. Okay, so in other words, x is less than a quarter, or it could be greater than negative quarter. So then it says after that, then it says expand. Then we've got a 3-term bracket then in ascending powers of k as far as the term in k squared. So how on earth are you meant to do a 3-term bracket when this sort of is always for 2, isn't it? Binomial, okay, for 2-term bracket. Well, we can be slightly clever in our approach. So if I write this down, okay, notice 4k plus 16k squared. What's really nice about this is that we've got a common factor of 4 in these 2 terms, yeah? Okay. So what we can do is try and make this to be like 1 term, okay, and factorize it. So if I try and make this 1 term, okay, so I'm sort of underlining it now to see that as 1 term, then I'll have 1 plus 1 term. So we've got that binomial thing going on again, okay, with 2 terms in the bracket. So how do I do it? Well, let's rewrite it to have 1 plus, okay, because 4 is a common factor, I'm going to factorize out the 4. Okay, so I'll put 4. Let's use a square bracket. So what do I times by 4 to get 4k? Well, that'll be k. What do I times by 4 to get 16k squared? Well, that would be 4k squared. Okay, so I factorized out the 4. Okay, and now you'll see that I've got basically now a binomial again. Yeah, I've got a term here and a term here. Okay, but by factorizing out of 4, I can now compare it to the expansion I've already got up here. Yeah, so essentially here I've got 1 plus 4x to the power half. Here I've got 1 plus 4 of this to the power half. So I could now appreciate that this sort of represents my x in the first part. Yeah, okay, so we can now use this answer, okay, by substituting in this expansion for x. So this, in effect, as I said, represents my x. Yeah. So all I've got to do is substitute k plus 4k squared into here, and I've got my answer. So this will become 1 plus 2. So using this here, x, which is all of this, minus 2. This then will be this all squared. Okay, now we only need to go up to k squared, so we don't need to worry too much about these expansions, but we're getting all the terms there. But I've got 1 here. Now if I multiply out here, I'll have plus 2k plus 8k squared. Okay, by timesing through by 2. Here then I got minus 2. Well, let's write this bracket out twice. So we're squaring it. Let's expand that bracket. Let's keep that minus 2 there. Let's expand this bracket, but What do I need to expand? Probably not much, because I'll do k times k, which is k squared. Yeah, the first, k times k is k squared. But if I do k times 4k squared, that'll be 4k cubed. I don't need it. I don't need this neither. 4k squared times k, and I don't need the last. So, I don't need to expand all that. I just need this bit here. So this will be 1 plus 2k plus 8k squared. Take away 2k squared, and I'm done. Once I've simplified down, 1 plus 2k, and then 8k squared, take away 2k squared is plus 6k squared.